Hi, this is Kerry Artak with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily Tesla report for Thursday, August 14th, 2025. Let's take a look at the charts. We've got overhead resistance that we're coming close to reaching again. 348.98 was yesterday's high. 351.39 is the 50% upside retracement from the December high of last year to the more recent April low. And 358.04 is a 2.5-year rising channel top that is part of the same range of resistance. We've tested it quite a bit over the last few months, and it's held each and every time. It is now coupled with, if you will, this channel top at 346.57, which we'd mentioned as a really it was kind of a 3 to 5 day target about a week and a half ago when we closed back above this trend line that is now at 324.88. So having tested 346.57, we are anticipating 3 to 5 day downside at 324.30 roughly. I think we can round down on that, this channel top. And over the next 2 to 3 weeks, the channel bottom is actually at 303.63. And I like that channel bottom because it's in very close correlation with this trend line off the lows over the last few months on the weekly chart at 304.33. So this is a range of resistance, a narrow range of resistance that we are expecting as a 2 to 3 week downside objective below 346.57. And so a downside today, we do have kind of a pivot point that should play out into tomorrow and early next week if we happen to violate 335.28. Now, with a heightened volatility framework, we could potentially break 335.28 on an intraday basis and test 324.30 on an intraday basis. And so there's that. 335.28 is a solid tradable level for aggressive day traders. We could bottom out at 35.28 and rally back to 346.57 quite easily on an intraday basis. If we close below 35.28, expect 24.30 tomorrow, Friday. If we break 35.28 early in the day, we can see 324.30 on an intraday basis, where I would anticipate a daily low. I don't know about a 3 to 5 day swing trade to the upside. That is certainly possible, and if you want to play that, you can. But also know that holding below this 346.57 channel top will keep the 303.63 not labeled channel bottom in reach as a 2 to 3 week objective, which we've been maintaining now for the last few days since we've tested this 346.57 channel top. So closing below 324.30, while certainly not likely today, is certainly possible over the next few days. And if so, we have then a 3 to 5 day secondary swing trade to the downside into the 303.63 to 304.33 area. In other words, if we were to close below 324.30 and you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, you want to be short the market for the following 3 to 5 days into this lower zone of support between 303.63 and 304.33, where I might add we can bottom out not only on a weekly basis.
If you're finding value in this analysis, it's only a glimpse of what we offer. Your real trading edge starts at wickedstocks.com. Each week, premium members receive 2 high-probability stock picks. Each one comes with a complete trade plan, including exact entry, profit target, stop loss, and regular updates so you can manage the trade with confidence. You'll also get daily video analysis in the top traded markets, the SPY, the Triple Q, and NVIDIA, highlighting the key price levels, trends, and trade setups we're focused on. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, these insights help you zero in on the highest quality opportunities with clarity. Try it all free for 5 days. Cancel at any time.
But I also want to say, quite possibly through the rest of August and into early September, we could round up from here. We would have a meaningful sell signal if we were to close below the 303.63, 304.33 area. I can show you kind of the extreme version of that right here on the weekly chart, that if we were to close below that zone, 304.33, 303.63, over the next few weeks, we then see possibly the mid 250s as and this is a weekly chart. So this could be within 3 to 5 weeks. It could take a couple of months. And there are plenty of other levels on the way down. We've got 278.68 as a weekly support, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But there's no reason in going there just yet. I think what can be said of this chart, this band of support that I find on the daily chart between 255.92 and 278.68 can be considered kind of a 1 to 2 month target now that we're pushing back into this zone of resistance. And I'd mention how, this this 346.57, we've been coupling it, if you will, with the 351.39 to 58.04 region for the last week or so. It is a sellable resistance area, and below which, now that we basically tested it, I think you can begin playing for this lower zone of support, this band of support between 255.92 and 278.68 as, let's just call it, a 2 to 3 month or sooner objective, and that sooner would come with a settlement below the 304.33 trend line off those lows, then anticipating that lower area within another month, two at the most. That is kind of the big picture to the downside. Now, the upside, this 346.57 level, coupled with 351.39 to 358.04. If you're a 3 to 5 day swing trader, even a kind of a 1 to 2 week swing trader, if we close above 346.57, you may exit a short position. Establishing a long position could be done with a settlement tomorrow, Friday, above 358.04. And that is our buy signal through the rest of the year and really into early next. So, there's more than one way to trade this, of course. If you're a short-term trader, you're selling 346.57, expecting the mid-320s within 3 to 5 days and possibly the lower 300 within 2 to 3 weeks. If we close above 346.57, well, that is up to you, obviously, how you play that, whether you exit a short position or you consider 346.57 kind of the beginning of a range of resistance up to 358.04. But if we close above 358.04, we have a series of buy signals that should then lend toward aggressive upward continuation on a longer-term basis. The 520.34 5-year channel top, then considered, I'm going to call this a 5 to 8 month target or sooner if we close above 358.04. Can you go long today? At the end of the day, if we close above 346.57, I don't have a problem with that. Just know there's a bit of head fakery that could play out where we could push back into that 358.04 area tomorrow, Friday, and then back away from it. And so you keep that in mind. There's really no way of knowing this, of course. So once again, I just combine the entire region as one long-term resistance area, short below 346.57 over the next 2 to 3 weeks or next 2 to 3 months. As I've already said, we could fall into this zone over the next 2 to 3 months because 346.57 is quite close to the 351.39 to 358.04 area. So short below 346.57 and long above 358.04. That is the simple way to put it. Whether you go long with a settlement above 346.57 is entirely up to you. It is valid from one perspective on just the daily chart. But if you take a look at the big picture, I really think it's worth waiting for that weekly settlement above 358.04 before going long aggressively. And then I would expect within a month or two, as we've already said, this rising channel top at 423.72. And then, yes, over the next 5 to 8 months, the 520s and climbing. I think that pretty much rounds it out. But I do want to mention to go to wickedstocks.com and take advantage of our 5-day free trial. We put out one stock pick this week in Teradyne. We've got another one coming out today later. With the 5-day free trial, you get daily SPY, daily Triple Q, weekly Apple stock, weekly S&P 500 index, weekly NASDAQ 100 index, all in one subscription package. Check us out at wickedstocks.com. I will be back tomorrow, of course, with Friday's Tesla report, and you have a great day.